And how we doing? It's the Crypto Lifer. And I feel like we just got to go live. We got to go live. So there it is. And yeah. All right. Let's check it out. Wanted to see the best place for the results. There we go. Donald Trump takes Kentucky. Pretty clear that he took Kentucky, but look how many people voted. Only about 370,000. 365 actually around. And 200,000 were Donald Trump though. Interesting to say the least. All right, let me pop up the chat too, see what's going on. See if I can even battle it. If I figure if I can get some views now during this time, then I've achieved something at this point, right? Because, I mean, this is like, it's hard to beat this right now, right?
Hi, I'm Shay Russell from Fat Tail Media, and joining me from the other side of the...
And we're gone. I can't find my live windows. Can't find the live streaming window. So I can't find the chart. But I'll get it up, man. I'll get it going. Eventually. I got Bitcoin though, I'll tell you that. Holding it down for us right now. Pretty hardcore. 14,000 and not budging. You can see it's about to break out here of a bull flag that it's in. Meow. Meow. Bitcoin. It's either going to fall out of this pattern or it's going to break out hard. If it breaks out hard, that's what I see happening anyway. Boom. Temporary short-term target, 14,244. I can't believe I'm saying that now. We go to the 30-minute. Let's see, we're in a broadening wedge that I already have here. Coming off the bottom and heading pretty back up to the top here of the broadening wedge, which put us into 14,700 region. And that's what I'm counting on and what I'm looking for out of the bitty Bitcoin. So cool, there's the chat. Let's see who's in there. Colin, what's going on, man? Colin, 007, Trump is going to win by a landslide. Okay. Good evening, 007. How's it going, man? Bitcoin held about 14K in the daily. How significant is that? Extremely significant. What's going on, Chris? How you feeling, man? So how's everybody doing today? How's everybody feeling with this craziness of what's going on in the elections, right? And we can only assume. What's going on?
I didn't know you were live.
Should I be?
Yeah. Who just said that? I called you. You're already allowed to say that word.
So we just want to monitor Bitcoin for you. This is going to be the only stream where we're really looking at Bitcoin. We're going to look at a little bit of the altcoins, Bitcoin dominance, but we're also going to be watching the presidential election, right? And I guess we're going to be looking at the Google results, so to speak, even though they have a monopoly, and we don't know if all that information is true, but we'll go with what we have to go with, right? We're also going to see what were the coins to buy today if there were any deals out there on the streets. Okay. Just want to look for the poll results, which I had already, but I lost them. And here we go. These are from the Associated Press. Let's see how this is. Don't mind the circus upstairs. What are these clowns saying over at CNN in the fake news categories?
This, Jeff, 41% of the estimated vote in Florida is now in. Look at how close it is.
Florida's close. That is not breaking news. That part is not breaking news. But it's incredible because, you know, just as you were here last time it flipped, you were here this time it flipped. We expect Florida to flip. So you're looking at key things. Number one, for the president, that Collier County is coming in for Trump. That's a good thing for the president. That's what he needs. The southwest part of the state tends to be more conservative, 77%, but look how low we are here. So we got a long way to go here. We're just a couple hundred votes, 300 votes and some change there. So see if that holds up for the president right here. But you pull up right here. But I just want to come up here. This would be a huge deal. This would be a huge deal. Duval County is Jacksonville, up here in the top part of the state. President tends to win once you get out of the urban areas. But this is, again, one of the fast-changing areas all across America. But in the Sun Belt states like Florida, you have the city and the suburbs around it, 75%. You see Joe Biden at 54%, the president at 45% if you round up. This was a Trump win, just barely. But Donald Trump narrowly carried the suburbs 4 years ago. He's expected to lose the suburbs this time. By how much could determine who wins the presidency tonight. So if you watch Duval County right here, it's the 7th largest county in Florida. That edge for Joe Biden, we always think about down here is critical for the Democrats, up here critical for the Republicans.
Let's not forget, John, in the
it's up to 67,000
the Central Time Zone, they're not going to close until the top of the hour.
Right.
The Eastern Time Zone in Florida, they've closed.
Right, and so again, if you look across, just watch across here. They're still voting out by Pensacola and on the Panhandle. So let me just go back and show you, just to remind you, all these smaller counties, you're going to see a lot of red, right? That is the key for the president. Again, they're not very populous, but when you add up one, then another, then another, then another, you get the votes to offset some of this. It takes time, which is why Florida sometimes roller coasters through the night. But look at.
I see Palm Beach County is now in.
Look at
check
this. That's 2016. You do see this though. Palm Beach County is in right now. But look, this is 91 to 28. Yeah. We have a long way to go in Palm Beach. But this is the quirks of the map. When you're watching at home, you see this county red. If you're a Democrat, you panic, which is why we need to visit it.
Go back to Miami.
Remind you that we're very early in this count here. And so let me take the lines away so you're not distracted. But if that stays blue, that's a big deal for Democrats. If that stays blue, it's a big deal for Democrats. You come back down to Miami-Dade. Again, if you're in the Biden campaign, you want it to be better than that, right? Doesn't mean it's game over, but it means if you're not getting it here, you better make it up somewhere else. And we'll watch the rest of this vote come in. Again, if there's a lot of early votes to come in, these numbers could change dramatically.
Because 4 years ago, Hillary Clinton did a lot better in Miami-Dade County.
She did 64%. And again, part of it's the percentage. That's one thing you look at. The other thing you look at, especially because we expect turnout to be up this year, sometimes that helps you, sometimes that helps you more. 624. See, in Miami-Dade 4 years ago, the president got 334,000 if you round that up by that one. So you come back here, remember 624 and 333, and you see the president right now already has a significant 120,000 more votes out of Miami-Dade than he did 4 years ago. Now, is that just because turnout is up everywhere, or is he making inroads with the Democratic constituency in Miami-Dade? That is what we'll learn as we go deeper into the night. But if there's Joe Biden right now, if you're worried about anything in Florida, you're worried about that you're winning Miami-Dade, but not by the margins that you wanted. Still, though, 74,000 votes with a long way to go. And again, this is blue at the moment. I mean, red at the moment. We don't expect it to stay that way, but we'll see as we count them. And again, the key part for me, here we go. Orange County has filled in 700 votes and change there. So it doesn't matter. This has to be blue at the end of the night. If that stays red, Joe Biden's not going to win Florida. But it's very early on as we go through. And again, as you get real votes, 83% here. This could be critical here. Osceola County here. You come through, 61%. Again, you're looking for math, especially if you're Joe Biden and you're not getting what you wanted out of Miami-Dade. You need to make up for it somewhere else. So you're looking here, 50,000, 85,000 4 years ago. You come back in now, Joe Biden right now about the same, a little below where Hillary Clinton was. We're still waiting for some votes there. This is what we're going to have to do. Florida gets so competitive. You go through county by county, you match up the math to 4 years ago, you see how much turnout is up this year compared to then, and you average it all out.
50% of the vote in Florida is now in. Trump is ahead by about 74,000 votes, 50.2% to 48.9%. Now he's up by 91,500 votes, 51%. Florida is very fast. The numbers are coming in quickly. Let's look at Georgia right now.
So you move up, you see Georgia. It's not often you see Georgia blue.
If Trump wins Florida, it's a big deal, right? So already we can see that it looks like Trump may win Florida. He also has already won Kentucky in total, right? Not good for the Biden team. I'm bipartisan. I don't really care who wins. I think my life really will stay the same. I'm with John McAfee. If you see what he said and recently posted, he said 3 months later you will go back to your lives and nothing will change unless you're worth millions and millions of dollars. Unless you're one of the elite, you won't know it. You won't know or feel a thing. You know. Let's look at the independent though, getting about 0.06% of the votes, 47,000 votes, 52,000 votes coming in now. More votes for overall vote count here with about 8 million people voting. We have 4 million for Donald Trump and about 3.9 million for Joe Biden. Extremely close, 0.05% in a mix. Electoral votes, 8 for Donald Trump supposedly at the moment and 3 for Biden. We can see where that goes. Going on, we have Vermont and New Hampshire. Biden basically taking Vermont. Let's take a look at that. Or New Hampshire. So it looks like, it looks like Biden has easily taken Vermont by 71.9%. That is Bernie's home state. You would hope that Vermont would vote for the Democratic Party, 71.9%, but only 6,372 votes on that. Only 8,000 people voting in the whole state of New Hampshire. It's not over yet. Kanye West with 39 votes. That's hilarious. 39 votes for Kanye West. Pretty interesting. All right. 81. He got half of the actual Libertarian Party. Interesting. Joe Jorgensen. Brooke Page. No Brock Pierce there, huh? Oh, there he is. Brock Pierce getting 2 votes. Sad to say, 2 votes. All right. Let's see what's going on in Massachusetts. They have no counting in Massachusetts. Voting still open for a little while now. So no, we don't have any information, but we're pretty sure Massachusetts will come in for Joe Biden. Similar, almost all of New England, Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont. New Hampshire looking like it's going to go Biden as well as Vermont. But Vermont, a guaranteed close. Looking like it's guaranteed close there. Let's see what some other news is saying. Okay. The Panhandle is God's country. I guess it is. Let's look at Bitcoin. Still kind of... come on, Bitcoin. You can't do that. You can't go above 14 and then play games. You got to make it all the way, Bitcoin. 4 hour looking great. Daily going to roll over. This could be its time for a retrace. We will see. We will see. Should keep going up out of this. 66 dominant, still making its way past 64.86, almost way to 65. When it was down around 61, 62, you guys probably never would have thought we would have seen dominance in that area. Pretty funny, pretty interesting. NTD is pretty interesting little group of people. Let's see what they're having to say.
Results have come in since we last checked with him there. Paul.
Thank you, Cindy. And yes, we do have results finally coming in. First of all, we can go to Florida and check out what's happening there. So with about 36% of the vote counted, Joe Biden is leading President Trump 51% to 48%. And of course, one of the key battleground states is Florida. Now, Democrats have been kind of cited as being ahead in the early voting and the...
So that's weird. We just saw Florida the other way around. CNN just had Florida up. Interesting. Started streaming live 41 minutes ago. Is this still live? No, I think
It was tweeting.
A long way to go. The president trailing a little bit, but
this is old news, man. Come on. Don't tell us we're not live now anymore. You were live. Here's the Telegraph. What is this nonsense?
It's been an election unlike any other.
Definitely knew I was hearing that echo there. So sorry about that. One thing we want to check on too. Dominants keep crushing it. So keep this up though. They're gonna say that. So now I've seen Indiana is red and Kentucky is red. 2 states now in 2 different places giving 2 different things. And now, so we got 11-3 now though in electoral college votes so far, right? Let's see. We had that feed was pretty good before. Got Mitch Ray playing in the background. Love Mitch Ray. Doing some TA for us there. I just want to see, a CNN live event. Let's see what's going on. 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 All right, so let's pump it up. Let's get that light going. 2 people, let's keep it moving. Hadouken up in the spot. What's going on, man? Yeah, so we're just kind of going over the election. We're showing you that we got Bitcoin dominance on the rise, still pumping pretty hard. Let's take a look at what else is going on in the market today. DOT kind of hovering at 4, up and down here in this region. Will it get rejected again by the 21-day moving average? Not too confident that it's going to move too high with that dominance lurking. Could send DOT low, and if DOT stays low too much, look for it to maybe fall out of the triangle. So I would put an alert down here. You never know. You could see a 350 DOT. I'm telling you, if Bitcoin can pump even higher, we'll see, though. I think Bitcoin's losing a lot of momentum on these legs up and down, right? Up and down, up and down. I feel like it's only a matter of time till the daily gets exposed. The 3-day as well, getting overbought at this point, right? The weekly almost getting overbought at this point. Not, obviously still has some room to grow, but it's going. Now the daily, you can tell 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you count this tiny hill, 1, 2, you can see it here even in the MACD. MACD also in one of the highest places it's ever been. It's gonna have to curve. We hope it goes sideways at that point while they both kind of redirect themselves. Something like this. See how this slopes down, but this goes sideways without the Bart Simpson fall down at the end. But there's got to be a retrace. We want to go as high as we can. I think the retrace could be back to that 13,200 level, or it's the 12,800 or 12.4. I know I'm giving you a broad range, but it's just the idea. I got to give it a little more legs to see how far this push-up comes. But we know there's a pullback coming. We've been talking about it for a while, guys. So no deals on these alts. You're going to see even more alts half off, I think. I think you're going to be able to get them even cheaper than you ever thought. But hey, I could be wrong, but that's something I'm seeing. Ethereum's still coiled up. Keep all eyes on Ethereum at 386 right now. You really want to see if it's going to bounce off the bottom of this trend line around 370, stay in the middle here, begin to kind of phase out. It could almost stay in between 378 and 385, 380, 90 region even. And that would be a very close, tight range. And see, it's probably going to have to break out at one point. I am cautious to see what happens when Bitcoin on the daily makes a move. But if you can see that Ethereum on the daily looks nothing like Bitcoin. It's actually already crossed. It's had its pink coming. So Ethereum could be on its own little decoupling mission away from Bitcoin at this point. How much is dominance going to affect Ethereum? Maybe because it has so much, a big market cap and so much in play that maybe some of that money that slips out of those alts also slips into Ethereum as a safe haven. So it becomes like a sidekick to Bitcoin in a slight manner, not 100%, but in a slight manner, but really like in Ethereum. Now, Bitcoin dominance still could take us out the game, though. I'm very curious to see what could happen there. Want to see, look, Cake, that huge pump when after it fell down all the way to 18. You could have got all the way back to 29. That 52% pump out of Cake. Unreal. The Dow Jones pump, 555 points today. Basically ended on the day on an upswing. Is getting into the pink now on the 4-hour MACD. Oh, actually, no, we have a turn. Looking healthy. I was looking at the 2-hour. And let's look at the daily. And the daily is looking pretty healthy with the curve more coming. So telling us we should see some more build up here. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, let's get back into what they're saying here for this race. So they're calling 2 states now. They're calling West Virginia for Donald Trump, Kentucky for Donald Trump. Biden now making a move. Biden getting Virginia. Wait. They're calling Virginia, but Trump has twice as more votes, so there's something wrong there. Something's wrong. This is wrong. Already, right? I want to make this big. I wish there was like an actual site I could go to. I could like really see this in depth. They're saying Biden's now winning Florida. Interesting. That wasn't the case a second ago. We had Trump at 50.3 already. Interesting. The tables have turned. What is this nonsense?
.6%. Only 3% of the estimated vote in New Hampshire is in. Biden is ahead there by some 3,000 votes, 56.6% to 42.7%. In Virginia, 8% of the vote is in. Trump is ahead, 50.2% to 48.1%. He's up by almost.
Come on, YouTube.
That is the question. Is it going to hold? You see red in Virginia. We don't expect that to hold, but we'll count the votes early in all these places. We also see this. Donald Trump had an early lead in the popular vote. He still does, but Joe Biden is starting to close in on that as well. One of the questions tonight, that's not how we pick a president, but Hillary Clinton won the popular vote. And if Joe Biden can stretch that lead out, it should help him in the Electoral College. But we'll watch those numbers as well. But we go state by state. That's how we pick presidents. And Florida has 29 Electoral College votes. So it is one of the biggest prizes on the map. And it is always a battleground
So now
state.
he's
And
up
again,
185.
Biden on top right now, 50.6 to 48.4. In Florida, they call that a blowout. It's about a point and a half. But that's what it's. So we got a long way to go still. And again, 3 big parts of the state. Democrats need their votes here. This is where close elections are settled. And we're waiting to see what happens up here. And again, you see some trouble signs for both candidates. And so we're still going to watch the votes. We have 72% of the estimated vote. We'll watch as it plays out. Why do I say trouble signs for both candidates? Let me start up here in the northern part of the state. Duval County, very close. Joe Biden on top, 52 to 47. If you round it, 5 points there. It's about just shy of 40,000 votes there. But again, if you go back in time, President Trump carried this. Not by a lot, but in a state that is so close, the small margins in the big counties. This is the 7th largest of the 67 counties. So you're looking for the bigger counties where the votes are to see what the margins are. Let's just check over here, Leon County in Tallahassee. That's 2016. You come up here, Joe Biden, but very early in a place we expect him to win, the state capitol, government workers, unions. We expect him to win. So let's come down here again. this has been holding steady for a while. And again, this would be the biggest danger sign for the Biden campaign in their war room right now, and the most encouraging sign for the Trump campaign in its war room right now. Miami-Dade is the largest county in the state by population. You get about 13.5% of the vote, depending on how the turnout goes right there. And you see, 54-45. In most states, you'd think that's a good win, but not in the state of Florida because it's so complicated and big. The Democrats need a bigger margin here. Again, the Clinton comparison, 64%. 624,000 votes. She lost the state, remember. She ran it up in Miami-Dade. The Clinton campaign was happy with this. They thought they did a pretty good job there, but she lost the state. You see the 624,000 for Hillary Clinton. Joe Biden running below that total right now. Right now. We have more votes to come in, and we'll see, and we know turnout was up. Most of this, not all of it, most of this is people who voted in person early. So we're waiting for the election day vote. Republicans think that's where they do best, but it's the Democratic area. Let's see. That's why the Democrats sent Barack Obama down here twice to try to turn people out to vote in the end. The former president trying to get African Americans and others to turn out. And so now you pull it out and you see the state is starting to fill in. And again, Florida doing a good job counting quickly. Let's just walk up the coast first. Broward County, this is what Biden needs to do here. Again, you want to run it up here. The president's going to win the smaller rural counties, so the Democrats need to run it up. This is the second largest county, just shy of 10% of the vote here. And then Palm Beach County. This is what the Democrats need to do and what Joe Biden is doing right now. Just for comparison, 60.2, 57% when you round up, so a little bit better here. Not as many people here, so it's hard to make up what you're missing in Miami-Dade, but you take everything you can get as you try to go through it. And then this is the key part of the state, the western part, the southwestern part of the state, Naples and surrounding, critical for the president. These votes are starting to come in. 61, focus on the 61 or round it up to 62, and then remember the 120,000. You go back 4 years ago, 105,000 and 62. So the president's got about the same percentage, and more people are voting. More people are voting in this election. Turnout there. Hillary Clinton gets 61,000 votes there. Joe Biden getting more votes, more votes because of the increased turnout this year, which is a good thing in every state. The more people who play, the better for our democracy. But so then you want to come up here, and again, Orlando. Earlier I said it didn't matter. This was red. It was early. We only had a couple hundred votes. Big chunk of votes has come in here. Joe Biden at 64, the president at 35, 341,000 votes. Let's go back and take a look. Again, so Joe Biden has already passed Hillary Clinton's vote total, 60% there, 64% there. That's how you win a close race in Florida. Doesn't mean it's enough, especially if you have to offset Miami-Dade. But the Orange County here, you think of it as Orlando. This is more and more by the day suburban. More and more Latino, more and more college educated, more and more complicated. And this has been very hard hit by the economy.
Look at this, 75% of the vote in Florida is now in, and Biden has a lead of 142,000 votes. Step back for a moment, John. Explain to our viewers why we're spending so much time looking at Florida. Yes, it has 29 electoral votes, but it's a must-win for the president.
It's an absolutely must-win for the president. Joe Biden would like it. If Joe Biden gets it, it helps him remake the map. It helps him make a statement election. But let's just walk over here and we come back. This is the only state we've called so far, projected so far, is Indiana. So the president has 11 electoral votes. You have to get to 270. And remember, the president got to 306 last time. Right? So why does Florida matter so much? Well, if Joe Biden can take away Florida, that right there, in and of itself, gets the president down to 277, right? So then from there, Joe Biden really needs just one more. So if Joe Biden won Florida, let's say he won Arizona, right? Joe Biden could win the presidency without winning Pennsylvania, without winning Michigan, without winning Wisconsin, without winning Georgia. All places where in these three, he leads. Here, he's certainly competitive. Some polls show him ahead, some polls show him a little behind. So that is why 29 matters. I mean, the only thing on the board tonight with more significance is potentially Texas. Democrats think they may have a chance in Texas. But if you take these 29 away from the President of the United States, mathematically, can I find a path to Trump victory? If you want to say that Trump's going to win California, or if you say Trump's going to win all three of these, so it doesn't absolute, but that's essential. We're trying to be conservative. We're trying to be cautious, trying to be fair to the president. If the president of the United States loses Florida, his path to re-election is essentially gone. And
right now, it's very close in Florida. 79% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is ahead by about 83,500 votes right now, 50% to 49.1%. More make or break states are on the line at the top of the hour when the last polls close in the battlegrounds of Florida, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania. Will we be able to make any projections in the hour ahead? We're going to find out very soon. Stay with us.
The shady fixed election, whoever can fix it better, right? Do we really believe that our votes are getting counted right now? I guess they are. I'd like to think so. I voted today. I'd like to believe it, but something tells me that it's all hogwash. You know? But who knows? Who knows? I could be just being really pessimistic there, but I don't know, man. If I was running things and I was a rich billionaire, I wouldn't let your poor, if you were making a few $100,000 a year, your poor ass have anything. I would make you think you did just to keep you happy and out of my way. But at the end of the day, I really wouldn't. I wouldn't let you do a damn thing. If I grew up in rich money like that, I'm not saying me now, but I'm just trying to project myself as someone who grew up with that much money, man. I wouldn't care. Let's get real, right? So, dominance continuing to pump with the presidential election. So, we could see dominance going all the way up, right? Only reason taking a little pullback with Bitcoin right now, but that's kind of what it does, right? Doing exactly what Bitcoin does. Yeah, watch these altcoins, man. There's no saying exactly what position is great. Like, do you want to get in, like I was saying earlier today, is it worth accumulating DOT? Is it worth accumulating Atom? Is it worth getting a little bit of IOST? I mean, only small amounts. Like, if you want 1,000, get $50 to $100 today. Link down at 1029, but with a surge after this bounce up at 1022, Link seemed to have found a bottom right here. All eyes on Link on the 1 minute. Look at the bullish divergence on Link. Cutting in pretty hard. So, do we see it here? We don't. And we still had a nice pump up. What was the gain there? 2.4%. We could see it all the way up to 10.54 from 10.30. Interesting. Link may have found its bottom here, guys, at 10.30 here. So, something to look at as we see. Could be a Link bottom. Let's take a look at the market cipher. I'm going to have to go. It's just too chaotic upstairs. But yeah, we see a green dot here. 3 triple green dots there. 1 minute. Green dot in the daily here is telling you that, yeah, 718 in a perfect world. Last green dot here. Not pulling out the green dot yet, though. On the cipher, we could wait. Might be a little more pain. 1 hour, are we going to see some love? Yeah, a little action here on the 1 hour and a double bottom. So look at that. And it's giving you the bullish divergent sign here, telling you it's time to long Link here. 1020, 1021. Now, earlier I put in a buy for SXP at 50 cents. Will I get my 50 cents buy on SXP? Let's take a look if I'm even close. It pumped actually pretty hard from 71 all the way up to 77. Hit 80 and began to flag. So what a little move it made for itself. Now it's in a flag. 1 hour is looking good with some divergence. That was a bottom call. So we're in the very similar place right now on Link. Telling me that you kind of have to long Link right now. Interesting. All eyes on Link right now, but I'm going to make a call that maybe a possible little temporary pump for Link at 1026. Maybe a buy at 1022 to see if you can catch it on the flip side. Hope you all had a great day. I hope you had a great day. And thank you for coming back, Theo. You better not leave again. I will hunt you down and feed you Satoshis. That doesn't make any sense, but yeah. Dog. When in doubt, go to the next coin. 007. I never thought I'd see DOT at 0.7 tenths of a penny. When I first got into DOT, it was at least at 112, and I got in at 114. Wrote it up to 3 cents. So DOT could also 4x at this point, 5x, 7x, even from these lows. Showing a green dot here on the 1 hour. Might be a slight pump there for DOC. Not to be confused with DOT. DOT 401. Little pump up. Double bottom action. Could this be it for the alts? Something's telling me some things are changing here. 387. Really like Ethereum below 400 really at any point. I feel like you can't get too hurt for the next few. I think 2-3 months. I don't think you're going to have to hold it too long to get up there on a nice pump. Key looking pretty dangerous. Let me give you an in on Key. Break it down for you, but you You can see it just holding this level in the 1 hour, right? You can tell that looks like it wants to explode.
All right, we have our second projection of the night. CNN projects that Joe Biden will win the state of Vermont. He beats Trump in Vermont, 3 electoral votes. So let's take a look at the map where it stands right now in the race to 270. Trump has 11. He won Indiana. Biden has 3. He won Vermont. 270 once again needed to win the presidency. We're only moments away from the biggest wave of poll closings in the presidential race. We're counting down to the top of the hour, 8 p.m. Eastern. That's when the last polling places close in Alabama, Connecticut, Delaware, the District of Columbia, Florida, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Mississippi, Missouri, New Hampshire, New Jersey, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Tennessee. Together, those contests have 172 electoral votes. That's a huge chunk of the 270 needed to win. Florida, New Hampshire, and Pennsylvania are the key battlegrounds we're watching in the coming hour. Joe Biden posing a strong challenge to the president of Florida and Pennsylvania, states seen as crucial for Mr. Trump's re-election chances. Let's get a key race alert right now. And let's start off in Florida right now. Florida, look at this. It's very close in Florida. Joe Biden has 49.6%. Wow. Trump has 49.5%. Biden is ahead by 9,200 votes. 9,200 votes in Florida, 29 electoral votes. In Ohio, 18% of the estimated vote is in. Biden has a lead, an impressive lead of 347,000 right now, 64.4% to 34.5%. In Ohio, 18 electoral votes. In New Hampshire, only 3% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is ahead by about 3,000 votes, 54.8% to 44.4%. 2 more states. Let's take a look right now. We've got Georgia. Right now, 7% of the estimated vote is in. Trump is ahead by 9,000 votes or so, 50.8% to 48.2%. In Virginia, 13% of the estimated vote is in, and Trump is ahead by about 80,000 votes, 55.6% to 42.6%. Let's go back to John King at the Magic Wall. We're watching these states very closely, including Ohio right now, which clearly is a major battleground.
Right, it's fairly interesting to watch. Florida's still Biden. We'll get there in a minute, very close. The president's lead in the popular vote is shrinking. We'll see how that plays out. But let's start with battleground Ohio. This is a state Joe Biden went there Monday morning, right? He went there and people said, whoa, do you really want to be doing that? Do you have a chance in Ohio? Well, let's see. The middle part of the state where you see all these counties and you see nothing, and most of that is going to come in red. You just know that, right? So the Democrats need to run it up in the urban areas. That would be Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Akron, Toledo, Youngstown. But if you come here, this is interesting to see from this regard. If you get in 2020 here, Joe Biden right now, Mahoning County, Youngstown, blue collar, blue collar. This is where the president goes and says, you know, I'm on your side, I am your voice, trade deals. Joe Biden getting 62%. We're about halfway in the count, so we'll see if it stays this way. But 62%, you go back in time, Hillary Clinton just barely won this. So this is one of the tests, right? Can Joe Biden, one of the things he says he can do is that, unlike Hillary Clinton, he can win Trump voters. He can win blue-collar, traditional Democrats who left the party to go for Donald Trump. We'll see if that holds up here as you come to 2020. That's a big deal. Even if Joe Biden loses in Ohio, that's a big deal when we move over to Pennsylvania. It's a big deal in Wisconsin. It's a big deal in Michigan. Ohio, a more Republican state than any of those 3 that I just mentioned. So you're looking up here, challenge number 1 for the Democrats. You want to win a state as competitive as Ohio that leans a little bit Republican. You got to run it up. Cuyahoga County, Cleveland. Only about 40% of the vote in, a ways to go. 75 to 24. Let's go back and take a look. 66% for Hillary Clinton. This is a good sign. You have to see if it holds. If you're in the Biden war room, you're looking at that, and that's a good sign. An even better sign, or at least an even better add-on for Joe Biden, this is your base. This has to be your foundation, largest county in the state. It's about 11% of the vote when you're all done. But you move out here to the suburbs. This is the battle for the American presidency. Close races are decided in the suburbs. Lake County, Joe Biden ahead, 51 to 48. It's close, but if you go back in time, this was Trump country 4 years ago. Donald Trump narrowly carried the suburbs in 2016. That's why he's president of the United States. That's why he's president of the United States. It's part of the coalition Trump put together in 2016 as he won Ohio rather comfortably. If Joe Biden can hold Lake County, hold the suburbs to the west of Cleveland, that's part of the building blocks. At least get you close. Now, as you see, as we go through this, some more of the middle of the state is filling in. These are smaller counties. There's not a lot of people here, but let's pop them out. This is where the president runs it up. Right? He doubles your vote, essentially. And so the challenge for Biden, if that fills in, and we'll watch turnout, we'll see if the Trump voters come out in those places, is he has to, in all of the urban centers, Franklin County, that's a good number. It's not just Columbus. Huge suburbs around it. Columbus has been Democratic a long time. The suburbs used to be more Republican, so you get a more competitive county. You see that, right? That's about half of the vote, 76%. You come back in time, 61% for Hillary Clinton. That's how, those are the building blocks for Joe Biden. Win in the cities. A lot of that's the Democratic base. In Columbus, it's the capital of the state. It's unions. It's African Americans. It's turnout. But then when you get out here, away from it, you have to win the suburbs, and that has been the challenge. President Trump has lost the suburbs. Let's come down here to Hamilton County. Used to be a Republican county. It's becoming more of a Clinton county. I mean, more of a Democratic county. We have no votes there yet. You saw how Hillary Clinton carried it. It's also a House district in the Cincinnati suburbs as well. One of the House districts, Democrats are trying to expand their majority. So it's
You know, John,
Ohio.
I want to go back to Florida because it's essentially tied right now. Let's take a look at Florida right now. 81% of the estimated vote is in. There's only a 2,000 vote separation. Biden is ahead by 2,033 votes. That's incredible.
I was just going to say, some people at home who have a partisan stake in this will be throwing things at the television. But this is why this is fun. I mean, look at this. This is more.
Trump has just gone ahead by 18,000
Now,
votes.
Trump has gone ahead by 18,000 votes. This is 4.6, 4.7. We're closing in on 10 million votes. We're above 9 million votes in the state of Florida. And we have a 49.6 to a 49.4. This is why elections are fun. And this is why Florida is, of all the states in the United States, one of the, if not the, ultimate battleground state. And so, again, let's go through it and take a look. We started earlier in Miami-Dade. This, to me, so far, the biggest warning sign. And again, every election is different. So you're not performing, if you're Joe Biden, you're not performing as well here as Hillary Clinton did, as well as Barack Obama did when he carried the state. That's not necessarily fatal. It's not good.
But
Then you got to make it up somewhere else. If you're not getting it here, you got to get it somewhere else. 54 to 46, if you round them up. Again, you go back in time. This is the largest county in the state. There are more people here voting than anywhere in the state. Hillary Clinton thought she did the job here 4 years ago. 64%, 624,000 votes. Joe Biden right now, 560,000 votes, only 54%. So that's a problem. It's a warning sign in the Biden campaign. Not insurmountable, because you come up here, can you make it up? This is number 2, Broward County. Miami-Dade's number 1.
The second largest
This is
county.
this is the second largest county. You're at 66 with 562,000 votes. You go back and look at it. So you're running ahead of Hillary Clinton if you're Joe Biden in the count. In the count, turnout is up this time. Turnout is up this time. So that doesn't necessarily mean it's enough, but you're running ahead there, and then you come up here to Palm Beach County.
The third largest.
Get it to come up. 1, 2, and 3 are right there. 1, 2, and 3 are right there, 58 to 41. If you look at it there, 391,000 votes. Joe Biden, again, exceeding her total, and right now at the moment exceeding her percentage. So that's a good thing there. So those 1, 2, and 3 are right here along the coast. And then you come up from here. Here's where you find number 4. That's Hillsborough. That's Tampa. It's Tampa and the suburbs around it. Again, I just said this in Ohio, and I'll say it again here. The suburbs decide close presidential elections. President Trump narrowly won them 4 years ago. He's been losing them since. Nancy Pelosi is Speaker because of the suburban revolt against Donald Trump. The question is, does it continue from 2018 into 2020 in places like this? 53%. You see that's about, you see 300, 352, so you 52,000 votes, right? In a place like Florida, if you're not doing as well as you want in Miami-Dade, you got to run it up somewhere else. There are some votes there for you. Much closer, 45, 42. And then you come over here. This 4 years ago, it's a big victory for Donald Trump to turn this county. Democrats got swamped in Election Day turnout. At the moment, they're holding this 91% in. Again, not by much, 49.6 to 49.0. The question, that's a little bit of math. 3,000 votes. You take everything you can in a state like this, you get the votes. And so then you come up here, and now we're waiting, right? The Panhandle, this is the later time zone. We're waiting for votes out there. If you come through here, just want to show you, the president runs it up in these smaller counties. There's not a lot of people. But 6,000 votes to 2,000 votes, that's 4,000 votes in the bank to offset the Democratic advantages elsewhere. That's what the president did 4 years ago. It looks like he's doing it in some of these places again. The issue is, as you get to the more populated counties, let's see if we have much votes. Earlier, we didn't have many votes. We still don't. This is a plus for Joe Biden. We don't have many votes out of Leon County yet. That's Tallahassee. And then you move over here, watching this all night to see if it switches. Duval County, again, sorry for the broken record, the suburbs, Jacksonville and the suburbs around it. Joe Biden at 51, the president at 47. If you go back in time, Donald Trump carries Florida 4 years ago narrowly, in part because he won the suburbs narrowly there. So, Wolf, as we watch this play out, I just want to come out to statewide and look. The president of the United States.
Anyway.
More than 9 million ballots.
incredibly close in Florida right now. Voting is about to end in 16 states and the District of Columbia. The biggest round of poll closings tonight, a whopping 172 electoral votes are at stake in the next hour.
Oh my God.
We got some CNN projections right now. Let's start in Massachusetts. CNN projects Joe Biden will win the state of Massachusetts, will win its 11 electoral votes. CNN projects Joe Biden will win the state of Maryland and win its 10 electoral votes. Another win for Biden in Maryland. Joe Biden will win his home state of Delaware with 3 electoral votes, a win in Delaware for Biden. And Joe Biden will win the District of Columbia, which has 3 electoral votes as well. Trump, we have a projection for Trump right now as well. Oklahoma, CNN projects that Donald Trump will win the state of Oklahoma with 7 electoral votes. That goes to Trump. Right now, we cannot make projections in these states. Take a look. Alabama, Connecticut, Florida, Illinois, Maine, Mississippi, Missouri, and New Hampshire. Also, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Tennessee. We cannot make projections in those states. Let's take a look at the Electoral College count as it stands right now. Biden has 30 electoral college votes. Trump has 18. Remember, 270 needed to win the presidency. Let's get a key race alert right now. Biden is leading in these states right now. In Ohio, that's a key battleground. 28% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is ahead by almost 370,000 votes, 59.7% to 39.1%, 18 electoral votes. Biden is also ahead in Georgia right now. 10% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is up. It's very close by about 5,300 votes, 50% to 49% in Georgia. A tight battle underway. In New Hampshire right now, only 5% of the vote is in. Biden is ahead there by about 6,700 votes, 57.3% to 41.9% for electoral votes in New Hampshire. Trump is ahead in these 2 states. Let's take a look right now. Right now, Trump is ahead in Florida. 82% of the estimated vote in Florida is in, but he's ahead by about 11,000 votes. Look at how close it is in Florida right now, 49.6% to 49.4%. A tight battle in Florida underway right now. Trump is ahead in Virginia right now. 18% of the estimated vote is in. Trump has a 151,000 vote lead over Biden, 58% to 40.1%. Let's go back to John King at the Magic Wall. We're looking at these states right now, but let's take a look at the big picture first, John. Give us a sense of what we're seeing.
Texas is blue. Look at that. Florida is blue. Look at that. South Carolina is blue. Look at that. Georgia is blue. Ohio is blue. West Virginia is blue. Again, if you're a Democrat at home, pick up your phone, take a picture. This is a map you love, right? It's not going to stay that way, but we'll see how many do, though. Texas, the Democrats think it's in play. West Virginia, I would be shocked. South Carolina, I would be shocked. Georgia, Florida, Ohio, Texas. This is a very different election. We are looking at competitive races in states that have been red
explain
for a
Texas,
long
what's
time
going
ago.
on now.
Well, I don't think we're going to have a lot of vote there, and we don't. See, so that's why we have 700,000, 1.1 million votes. Joe Biden's ahead because of this, though. Again, I'm going to say this repeatedly throughout the night. This is part of the changing Texas. Dallas and the suburbs around it flipped a House seat there 2 years ago. 81% there. Joe Biden leading in Dallas County, 66% of the vote.
I want to just point out a lot of this vote in Texas is early voting, which we anticipated would
early
be
vote. Yeah, it's early vote. Yeah, a lot of the blue you're seeing is because we're early. I mean, this is again a lot of early votes here. So again, you don't expect that to hold up. This is very competitive. This is very competitive. We know Democrats voted disproportionately early. They wanted to vote by mail. Coronavirus safety concerns. They were encouraged by Democrats early on. So we're looking at a map right now. We talked about this earlier. We're going to be talking about this all night long. Some states are reporting in a different way this year because of all the mail-in voting, because of absentee and early, and then you have in-person election day voting. Different states are reporting it in different ways, and some states, within those states, they're reporting it in different ways. Some states are giving you the early vote first.
All right, let's take a look back into the Bitcoin charts and see what's going on into the futures, too. I also want to check out the Dow futures. Let's see how the futures are holding up today. Going into the Dow futures, take a look. Futures down 100 points now. Probably going up and down throughout the night. That will yo-yo. But as of right now, Dow futures looking negative. Bitcoin taking that hit. Loving 14,000 and getting completely rejected back to 13,840. It looked like it didn't want to stay in this beautiful bull flag that we had drawn. It was getting bullish, and then it wasn't. That's why you draw these patterns. When you see something fall out of the pattern, it negates that It still wants to turn up though, and we're getting low. Eventually we will see some bullish divergence or a bounce up on this RSI. Look for Bitcoin possibly to break its way right back into the pattern on a V-shaped recovery and continue its surge up. I've seen it do it a few times. Here's basically like a fall out of a wedge that looked bullish, and it made its way right back up here, continued sideways, would fall back again, only to surge and make its way all the way back to that high of 14,087 about. Okay. I guess I'm live streaming, so they're going to jump on the ceiling. Interesting. What up, Jesse? Mother effing B in the biatch. Yo. Hold on 1 second. I'm just going to be the man of the house for 1 second. Babe, what are you doing? It sounds like you guys are trying to break the house. Why are you guys jumping up and down like it's the end of the freaking world? Tell her to go outside. Tell her to go outside with that. She can. Tell her to go dance in the street. I'm just JB Hadouken. Crazy times, man. I figured I would have to jump into the stream. Right? Band. $4 band. $4 band. Low at 394, man. Can you believe that? Even lower, all the way to my green line of support. That band hit at 390. Calling that bottom a band. 390. $4 band, man. That coin, man. Imagine that. Imagine when that thing flew up to what, $18 at one point on the high. $17.89 for band. And that's a USDT pair. There's a chance it was higher in the regular USDT value. Sometimes there's a difference by 10 or 20 cents and change. Wow, now Bitcoin taking a bit of a flopsy-turvy here. Really taking the dump easy all the way down. Interesting. Now we're going to see the bullish divergence, though, right here. So this is how you long bait, watch, or at least get ready to long it. You sit here with your Bitcoin divergence swing, and you literally sit here on a swing. And the second you're able to close that, you either get in or get out. If you close low, you're done. Right? Like that. You close up, you confirm divergence. Right? So then you come back up here, you switch your line. You're just playing this game. And you're just waiting for the 1 minute candle to close. If it can't close in your favor, you then caught the divergence live. This is like catching a fish. Oop, you guys can't see the whole screen. So here, I'm trying to catch the fish. So I caught the fish. Divergence was accumulated. Boom, you enter the trade right there. Snatch. With your stop loss at about, 1%. 0.9%, how's that? And we just got in on the hidden bullish divergence confirmed. We're going to make that call. 13.77 on a nice rejection from 14.1. And we climb back up, probably to get back into 14,000. And there's your long right there. Easy peasy. Done, like a pro. And that's it. I can look you straight in the face and say we're good to go, right? You never know. You never know. We think we played it right. Now it's starting to play games again. Oop, slipping. We need one more candle close. Confirm the divergence, guys. Come on. Come on. Up negates. I thought we had the curve. Still, that 0.9% stop loss would be holding you. We'll be adjusting, waiting. We're waiting on the scalp. All right, I think we're going to be cool there. Candle close. Excellent. Let's get a turn up. Like a vegetable. Now, turn up here, pink. We want pink. We're looking for pink now. Now we're looking for pink for confirmation. Show us a pink bar. Next, there we go. Turn pink. There, turn pink live in front of us. You saw that, right? Now we want to hold that pink curve. Now we see the curve. That gave us our divergence for sure. And now we're in like Flint at 13,760 with a boom. And that's how you rock it. That's how you pop it and you lock it, baby. So corny. The corniest stuff in the world. But that's how you get down. Down, baby. 4th Street in a Range Rover. Whoop, whoop, baby. Hot, ready to get it going. Shimmy, shimmy. Big pop, give it to me now. Light it up and take a puff. Pass it to me now. Brown hair. Bang, bang, baby. Boat Street in a Range Rover. Sweet street, baby. Pump, ready to ready boat. Shimmy, shimmy, baby, up. Pass it to me now. Light it up and take a puff. Pass it to me now. Gonna call it like an alcoholic. Ain't balling for the sauce rolling. We got one to ball. There's your hidden bullish, man. We called the immediate bottom there, just like one of these. I'm telling you, that I think that's gonna hold us back up to 14K. I really do. And I'm gonna build a position in Bitcoin right now in at $500 just to add to the sickness. I probably will sell it though, and then get back in at another point. But just kind of testing these theories here for 500. I like to put my money where my mouth is when I'm doing this, when I'm doing it, when I'm doing the business, the business. 15,290. We'll change that. 10,606 is the stop loss. 23% loss on the 500. We could lose $100. We're going to create the trade on the bid. We're going to flip that limit order. And we're in there for a buy on this zone. Because you know we found it. 3 Hills. You were here live for the live catch. Let's see what people are saying in the game. In the game. All the libs are going to be so pissed if Trump wins again. Laugh my ass off. They're pushing Tenet in theaters again. You'll really, really hate this lady. Wow, a lady got eaten by a whale. Florida is tight within 100K votes. Now Virginia is official Biden. You and me too, man. Peak anxiety. Here are 10 ways to calm down. Everyone knows these dummies in the Buckeye State are the fairest of the fair weather voters ever. Yep. F Florida. It's obviously Ohio. Huh, interesting. Kentucky. I'm just going to call that call right there, though. Call a call what it is on a wit. What's going on now? Okay, so I got my bid on a spread. So we'll go from there. The call is 13,773. Even Steven on the edge. Double flip camel toe with the bullish div. Just trying to make it sound funny. The Dow Jones. The futures. Stabilizing. Only down now 54 points. So not too bad here. Gonna give you guys the breakdown. Dash looking pretty bullish, I'll be honest. Holding this level of support like it doesn't want to break it. Clearly seemed to touch on it numerous times here on the daily. Looks like the daily's about to have a move too. So look for Dash to come in or out. Put an alert here, put an alert there, easy play. If it hits that alert, let it go down, find a bottom, look for divergence, get back in. If not, let it zoom out, jump in on the edge as it booms out, and take some profits on one of these resistance as it goes up. Pretty simple game, guys. Pretty simple game. Don't try to break it. Don't try to change it. Just do what's in front of you and take your money. All right. All mother effing right. Are we logging Bitcoin? Just tuning in. Just tuning in? But I saw you said what up earlier. What's that all about? What kind of shite is that? So upset right now. I could cry. Yeah, we just long Bitcoin at 3778. Yeah, man. Yep. But you don't need me anymore. You can trade on your own. I see you make monies. You're free, man. You're free to fly as a bird. You had it down already. So when I see your language in your charts, I'm like, oh, this guy had some chart confidence in him. He knew it was up. He always knew it was up. Dot 398, holding position. I'm telling you, I think Dot's gonna fall out of this. This looks more bearish to me than ever now. I gotta say it. The 4 hour doesn't look bad though. Telling us we gotta have a pop. So if we trust the system and not our emotions, 4 hours telling us we want more, and we also have bullish divergence. Even on the 4 hour, we're getting the swing low while we get the swing high. With the camel toe action, small neck camel 399. Let's see what the pundits are saying, man. Let's see what the clowns. Let's see what the CIA clowns are saying here.
Percent, you start to run up the votes. But Democrats, Joe Biden in the Biden campaign, number one, this is a must. Democrats.
So future still holding.
We have another projection right now. CNN projects President Trump will win the state of Tennessee, will win Tennessee's 11 electoral votes, a win for...
I think that would spill into the panhandle. Only it's common sense. You know, they're pretty close in conjunction to each other, those places, right? So I'm just thinking out loud.
To win the White House. Let's get a key race alert, see where things stand in several of the critically important battleground states. In Ohio right now, 42% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is ahead of Trump by some 312,000 votes, 55.3% to 43.5% for Trump in Ohio. In Pennsylvania, only 3% of the estimated vote is in, but Biden has a 143,000 vote lead over Trump, 82.2% to 16.9% in Pennsylvania. In Michigan right now, very, very early, less than 1% of the vote is in. Biden is ahead by some 10,000 votes, 58.9% to 39.7% in Michigan right now. Let's go back to John King at the Magic Wall. He's a busy guy tonight. Got a lot going on. You got to look at all these battleground states and give us a sense of the latest.
It's a lot of fun. Joe Biden leads in the popular vote. If you care about that at home, I know some people out there aren't fans of the Electoral College. You see 12 million to 12.4 million there. North Carolina starting to come in. It's shaded blue right now. Again, one of those states Donald Trump has to win to recreate his path from 2016. He doesn't have to win them all, but North Carolina is a big one. You see 56 if you round up to 43 right now. About half of the vote says 55%. So what are you looking at here? Number one, you start here. Charlotte, Mecklenburg County. This is the biggest area of the state. And look at that number. Look at that number. About 84% of the estimated vote in. Again, on a night like this, sometimes that swings a little bit because we have mail-in, in-person early, and then election day votes. But you go back in time and look, everywhere we're looking here, right? Is Joe Biden overperforming Hillary Clinton in the cities and the suburbs around them? That's what's happening right here in Charlotte and the suburbs right now, the biggest part of the state. 63% for Secretary Clinton 4 years ago. 69% if you round that up for Joe Biden. So that's a big building block to keeping North Carolina more competitive. Remember, Obama for 08, record African-American turnout, back to Mitt Romney in 2012, to President Trump in 2016. You start in Mecklenburg, and then you come up here to Wake County. This is Raleigh, again, one of the fastest growing areas of the state. It's changing. It's diverse. There are new voters here. They tend to be college educated, younger voters as well. There's a lot of diversity. Not Donald Trump's vote. The new vote here is not Donald Trump's vote. 65, 66%. If you round it up to 33%, again, it's the second largest county in the state. It's about 10% of the state's voting population. 58% for Secretary Clinton, 66% for Joe Biden. So overperforming here, you just move over. This is the research triangle. Again, college-educated voters, suburbs turned away from President Trump during his presidency. 82% right now in Durham County here. Look at that. That's a big number. 82%. You go back in time, 79%. So you think that's only a little bit on the margins in a close state. That's what matters. Because, again, this is another one of these states, and we see this all across America. We're watching it play out in Florida. We're going to watch it play out in Georgia. We'll see it in central Ohio. The president runs it up in the small towns, 67% here. He had a rally here just the other day. This will be interesting to watch. There are Trump super counties, if you will, around the country. The president went to certain places to do his rallies because he knew he was losing in the early voting, and they were all designed to turn people out. So you want to watch this here. 67% Trump-Clinton, right? Catawba County, let's come back here to go see where we are. It's about the same, right? Is that enough? 45,000 votes now and some change. 48,000 4 years ago. That could be a key test. We'll watch this play out. That's 75%. Let's watch. The president had a deliberate travel plan. He went to certain places where they knew their voters are, where they thought they could turn, at least match 2016, hopefully exceed 2016. So let's watch this when we get closer to the final. He was there for just a rally the other night. You pull it back out. Again, if you're the Democrats, you got to run it up in the cities, Asheville, suburbs around it, 63% now.
Emergency episode. It is 3 a.m. while I'm recording this, but the Bitcoin price is right now retesting the $14,000 area here. And as you can see, all our previous moves here, we always hit exactly my price targets here. And right now, Bitcoin came very close to my last price target here, not even considering this ascending triangle breakout I predicted to 13,900, which we already perfectly hit, as you can see it right here. But
no one predicts this stuff. I said the same thing. It's an ascending triangle that he said would break out. He looked at a pattern that we all know. Like, it's funny when people try to, I guess I did the same thing, but I long things. Like, I guess he does too, though.
Question right now is, of course, is this here a double top, or will Bitcoin eventually here break through and test much higher price levels all the way up here at my specific price target? I am going to mention
a much higher price levels
here in this video. Or are we going to see a rejection of Bitcoin down to lower price levels? Well, this is exactly what I want to be talking about today. Obviously, I will be showing you my
trade for the Bitcoin price.
Bitcoin came very close to AM while I'm recording this. Today for the Bitcoin price, guys, this is I'm predicting this to break out all the way up here to the price target of approximately $14,100. You can see that over here in this tweet where I posted it. Supportive for Bitcoin. Well, first of all, let's focus here on the Bitcoin price.
How much coke did he do before he did this? He's sweating.
And as you can see, so far at the time of recording, we didn't quite hit it yet. But as I'm always saying, take
he was out with his buddies doing yay, and there's like, yo guys, I gotta run back to the hotel and just do some videos. I'll be right back.
It's a little bit before the target, but let's say we are going to hit it.
Today for the
Bitcoin
price
target, of course, or at least we have to determine, is this a blow off top? Is Bitcoin going to go lower, or do we have higher price targets? Well, so far at least, I cannot see a blow off top coming. Of course, there will be exogenous factors coming into place, maybe potentially dragging the Bitcoin price down. I want to prepare you for that. I want to talk about it. But simply only focusing on the charts right now, let me auto scale it. Let me actually go out to the daily candles. You know what? I'm going over here to the Bitstamp chart. Then you can see that potentially a new target could be evolving for the Bitcoin price right now. And for this, I want to take out the Fibonacci measurement tool. I was using multiple times. Da Vinci is using it, and as you can see, if I'm pulling this from the top to the bottom, from the top from the August pump actually to the bottom after the retracement when we went down to $9,800, you remember where I was still holding my trade here from all the way at $9,400. I will be showing you my trades later on, but the most important thing is, if you take this Fibonacci measurement tool and you pull it over there, look at this. I mean, this golden ratio here, this Fibonacci extension at 1.618, it exactly, but really up to the exact dollar, predicted the high of 14,115 US dollars we just printed 3 days ago or so, approximately. So the question is, if this has so much legitimacy, and I could go back into the chart, I showed it to you multiple times.
This is obvious stuff, though.
The price target, according to the Fibonacci retracement, would be here exactly the 16,000 US dollar levels. So obviously, we would be looking out, first of all, to break the golden pocket. First of all, to break the previous high of 14,100. We have to break it. We have to close a daily candle above. If we are closing a daily candle above, then right now Bitcoin came very close. Or let's that we are relevant, and this is the reason why where we are getting these
trash bit. All right, he's great. I'm just a lot of clickbait and nonsense a lot of times. So 13,814 came all the way back down to 13,772. He still gets me every time though, making me think I'm gonna see something that I'm not. Oh, but he'll just gonna show me stats. Nonsense. NC is red. We just have blue counties. Yeah, he's pretty annoying. All those guys with that accent. I'm sorry, I'm sounding horrible, but like, they just learn English, but they learn it with like wrong little and like, if you're someone who's like from New York or Boston and like you try to listen to those guys for more than an hour, it's like it gives me a headache. I'm sorry. Video in my next video, I will explain it's funny. It's almost like they're unable to say certain words. I guess because they have to learn such a different language that certain words in English. I sound like such a hater right now. I shouldn't be like that. But sometimes it's hard for me to listen to that dude for more than 10 minutes. Like Ivan on Tech, it's hard. It's not even about how he talks. It's almost like I feel like, you know, I can sit there and be like, hey, what's going on? We're going to go from here to there. Let me show you this chart. Let me get into that. Like, and we can jump in and it's like, it's soothing. It moves. But like, you talk to him and it's the Bitcoin and it's just like, I'm like, and I like the guy. I think he's awesome. And he does great for the space. And I like that he's on all the time. Right? I shouldn't say this. It just, sometimes I don't understand what he's saying, man. Sounds like he has like a problem speaking, right? You got me. I blame Jesse now for getting me in this. Null's hitting the bottom at 19, coming all the way from 19 back up. Could double scoop up some nulls. I would stay away from all these coins though. They're looking disgusting. LTO, Litecoin back to 53. Everything just dump city, man. I tell you though, if Litecoin goes back to 47, you better buy it there. That's that golden number, man. Litecoin at 47. So now Bitcoin going to play games here at 13,771. Fell out of the pattern, had a bit of a V-shaped recovery, bounced back up. I'm kind of long in here at 13,770. We're going to go from there and see what happens, but I do feel we have a little bit of a head and shoulder pattern here forming. We did fall out of that beautiful pattern though. 1797 for BAT. Are we going to see a 12-cent BAT? Very, very possible. That may be my next video tomorrow. 12-cent BAT. $3 band. Possible. Coming. $5 link. You bet your sweet cheeks. Oops. Did I just... Am I going to get banned?
Ohio, in places like North Carolina as well.
That are white. Of course, there's often voters who. The other thing, that
their voters,
which is exactly what as well coming into this, which is why they have felt better in the northern states, in the northern Midwestern states, because his coalition isn't the same as the guy who was the president when he was the vice president for 8 years. It's just different.
No, he's middle class Joe. That's what he calls himself.
Scrappy kid from Scranton.
But they've got to perform. I mean, this is where the rubber meets the road, and I think. When we talk about what's going on in Florida, this is where Democrats were not able to turn out their voters. They have to turn them out elsewhere on the map.
Of course, we're all still waiting for those big 3 Midwestern states, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan. Wolf?
All right, thanks very much. We have another projection right now.
Looked like he said woof.
CNN projects that President Trump will win the state of West Virginia with its 5 electoral votes. Trump wins West Virginia, 5 electoral votes. Too early to call in the state of Arkansas, which has 6 electoral votes. Too early to call there. Let's take a look at the race for 270. Let's take a look at where it stands right now. Trump right now has 42 electoral college votes. Biden has 30. Once again, 270 needed to win the presidency. Let's get a key race alert right now. Here are some of the latest numbers. North Carolina right now, take a look at this. 62% of the estimated vote in North Carolina is in. That's a lot. Trump is losing to Biden right now by some 329,000 votes. Biden is ahead 53.9% to 44.9% in North Carolina. In the key battleground state of Ohio, 44% of the estimated vote is in. Biden is ahead there by an impressive 284,000 votes, 54.5% to Trump's 44.3%, 18 electoral votes in Ohio. In the key battleground state of Pennsylvania, only 6% of the estimated vote is in, but Biden is ahead by about almost 79,000 votes, 58.7% to 40.7%, 20 electoral votes in Pennsylvania. In Texas right now, almost half of the vote is in, 45%. Biden is ahead in Texas right now by 250,000 votes, 51.7% for Biden in Texas. Trump has 46.9%. A huge number of electoral votes at stake in Texas, 38 electoral votes in Texas. In New Hampshire right now, 10% of the vote is now in. Biden is ahead there by about 7,500 votes, 53.7% for Biden, 45.3%
I'm so happy
for
it's
Trump.
it's finally here,
in
man.
New Hampshire right now.
I never
Too
wanted
early to call in several of these states. We're monitoring right now. Once again, Florida, Michigan, Georgia, and Virginia.
I never wanted to wait for an election so bad, man.
Right now, but let's take a look at the vote in those states right now. In Florida right now, 90% of the vote is in Florida. Trump is ahead by about 226,000 votes, 50.5%.
He's going to take Florida
Biden's
for sure.
48.4%
That's it.
in Florida.
That's it.
In
It's a
Michigan
wrap.
right now, only 4% of
the
the
only
vote
part
is
they
in.
didn't count.
Trump is ahead by 39,000 votes, 57.5% to 40.6%. In Georgia,
Michigan.
the numbers are increasing. 22% of the estimated vote is in. Trump is ahead
Damn.
by an impressive 154,000 votes right now, 56.2% to 42.8%. In Virginia right now, 30% of the vote is in. Trump is ahead, also impressive, 260,000 vote lead in Virginia over Biden, 58.3% to 39.6%. Let's go back to John King at the Magic Wall. I'm really curious to see what we're seeing in the Commonwealth of Virginia.
It's interesting that we have a lot of places on the map that at this moment in time, and remember this was going to be that night because of the combination, mail-in voting, early in-person voting, election day voting, different states handling those ballots in different ways. The map looks a little different than we expected. Now, we'll see where it ends up. That's what makes tonight exciting. Makes it exciting. But you're looking at a map right now that has Kansas in blue, Virginia in red, where I started my career, Rhode Island in red. I don't expect it to end that way. Michigan's in red at the moment, but again, we're waiting for votes to be counted. We're very preliminary in some of these states. And on the flip side, I just circled some states that you'd be surprised by. You look right down here, Texas is blue, Mississippi is blue, South Carolina is blue, which tells you what? A, we're having an unusual night because of the pandemic election and the different ways people are voting and the different ways states are counting. So everybody needs to be patient. Number two, it's just without a doubt, though, even as I say that, and even as we have a long way to go, we are seeing a very different map. We are seeing in a place like Ohio, where Hillary Clinton was not competitive 4 years ago, we don't know how it's going to end tonight. We know Joe Biden is more competitive in this race and across the industrial Midwest with blue-collar Americans who voted for Trump. We know Joe Biden is more competitive, and we know that because just look at that. That's a 10-point lead in Ohio, only 40% of the vote. There's a long way to go. Ohio is a traditionally Republican state. It's the more Republican if you're going through Ohio, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin. This is more Republican than those states, so we'll see how it ends up. But the fact that Joe Biden is competitive and the fact that he is doing what a Democrat needs to do, at least so far, we're not at the finish line, but so far the building blocks of a Democratic win in a state as fiercely competitive, Republican-leaning even, is Ohio. You've got to run it up in the cities. This is the biggest one of all, Cleveland, Cuyahoga County, 75% of the vote right there. You go back 4 years ago, again, 66%, overperforming Hillary Clinton. Lake County in 2016 went for Donald Trump. This is the suburbs to the northeast of Cleveland. Right now, 61% of the vote in those suburbs going for Joe Biden. Remember what happened in 2018. In 2016, Donald Trump narrowly wins the suburbs. He's president. 2018, the suburbs revolt. Nancy Pelosi is speaker. Test tonight. Does that last? Does that accelerate? Does it stay the same? Lake County right now, we'll see. We're not at the finish line. Tells us that the suburban revolt and rejection of President Trump continues. Is it enough in Ohio? We don't know yet. But Lorain County again, to the west of Cleveland, Joe Biden at 57% when you round up. You go back in time, almost 10 points, running almost 10 points ahead of Hillary Clinton. Again, look at the vote totals. Turnout's up everywhere, so this makes the math a little different this year. 66,000, just short of 67,000 there. Joe Biden running behind that right now, but we still have 60% of the vote. We're going to watch as it plays out. Again,
I just found out this guy went to my high school.
Why are we spending so much time on it?
This guy went to my high school. I just found out. I always look him up. Look, he went to Boston Latin. And Boston Latin is a public exam school. It was established in 1635, making it both the oldest public high school in America and the oldest existing school in the United States. It was a basic bastion for educating the sons of the Boston Brahmin elite, resulting in the school claiming many prominent New Englanders as alumni. And its curriculum follows that of the 18th century Latin school movement, which holds classicals to be the basis of the educated mind. 4 years of Latin are mandatory for all pupils who enter the school in the 7th grade, 3 years for those who enter in the 9th grade. And I took 2 more years of Latin because I took my whole entire 6 years of Latin there. It was founded in 1635. The school is modeled after the Free Grammar School of Boston in England under the influence of Reverend John Cotton. It was intended to educate young men of all social classes in the classics. The school was initially funded by donations and land rentals rather than by taxes. A school established in nearby Dedham was the first tax-supported public school. In 2015, it had 2,400 pupils drawn from Boston. It was produced 4 Harvard presidents, 4 Massachusetts governors, 5 signers of the United Declaration of Independence. Benjamin Franklin and Louis Farrakhan are among its well-known dropouts. The school began as a South Grammar School and was specifically modeled after the Boston Grammar School in Lincolnshire, England. Lincolnshire. Yeah, it was admitted only male students until eventually female, I believe, in the late 40s. The girls' Latin school was founded in 1877. But yeah, very prestigious and hard curriculum. Declamation is the most time-honored of the school's traditions. Pupils in the 7th or 10th grade are required to give an oration known as declamation. In the English class, 3 times during the year, there's also public declamation, where pupils from all grader classes are welcome to try out for a chance to declaim a memorized prize in front of an assembly. During public declamation, declaimers are scored on aspects such as memorization, presentation, and voice and delivery. And those who score well in 3 of the first 4 public declamations are given the chance to declaim in front of the alumni judges for awards and prize declamation. Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Yeah, it was a very different type of school with a huge, big history. I know I'm telling you guys this stuff, but yeah, kind of why I like to be live, why I like to talk, why I like to be there. As a young kid, they were making me do this stuff at school all the time. But he went to my high school, so you can tell, man, he had a pretty good education, because going to Boston Latin, it starts you off pretty early. So they have now Trump with 42-30 here. Joe Biden needs to win these Ohio areas to take the state. So they're beefing it up. CNN, it's like weird. They look like they're like pro-Biden, and now out of nowhere, I feel like, I guess they're trying to be bipartisan. But
2004 election, people forget how close 2004 was. 2004 came down to one state, Ohio. That was the first election after 9/11. It was a very close state. But let's come up now to 2020. We can do history another day, because we have history unfolding before us right now. And in 2020 right now, this is a very important point that David just made. And this is why we've said throughout the night, we need you to be patient at home. This is all real. These are real votes. However, the context is we're waiting, right? So a lot of this is early vote. We know Democrats voted disproportionately in some states more than others. North Carolina is one of the states where we know Democrats disproportionately voted early. Democrats returned their ballots early in the mail-in voting. So now we watch to see the election day vote. And again, that's why the president was traveling the country in the last week in places like North Carolina, trying to get his people to show up today, because he knew coming into today he was behind. This tells us that was in fact correct. And so you're looking here in Mecklenburg County, which is the largest county in the state, and you bring it up. The challenge is, we think this is about 84% of the vote. Joe Biden will win Mecklenburg County. Hillary Clinton won Mecklenburg County. It's Charlotte and the suburbs around it. The question is, can Donald Trump close that gap? Close that gap. It's all about margins when you're in a close race, right? In the places you see on this map that are blue right now, Joe Biden's leads are enormous. That's Charlotte. This is Winston-Salem. Again, 59 to 40, right? So almost a 20-point lead there. Let's just go back and take a look. 59 to 40. You come back here, 53 to 43. So a 10-point race, 10 points and change here. 4 years ago, Donald Trump carries the state. With the early vote, Joe Biden has a much bigger advantage. Now we have to count the rest. We have to finish. We have to finish. We might be 2/3, 3/4 even way around the track. We're not finished. And we have to wait for those votes to come in before we can tally. Joe Biden is doing what he needs to do, impressively, actually, when you look at these places, but we're not at the finish line yet. So you come up here to Durham County. Again, 83% in. Let's see when that election day vote comes in. Does President Trump narrow this gap? That's ouch, right? 82 to 17. If you look at it that way, you go back in time. It was ouch 4 years ago, 80 to 18, right? But again, in a race on the margins, can he get it just a little bit closer? A little bit closer. Even in a place you're not going to win, you got to get it a little bit closer. And then let's pull back out again. Number 2, this is it. The Democrats spent a lot of time here. Wake County, second largest county in the state, one of the places that is growing again. You start in the city, you move out to the suburbs, 65, 33, 58, 38, if you round up for the president. Again, this is why it matters, but again, we have to see if it sticks, right? We have to see if it sticks. The Democrats got around the track with the early voting. Now we'll wait for the rest of the election day vote to come in. And one of the things you counter with, you see the open spots, the gray spots, right?
This is
These are the smaller,
this
more
is hidden
rural
bearish
counties. Let's just go back in time.
Right here.
We don't have anything there.
Run top, run
This
up.
is where Hillary Clinton actually won Chatham County. So that's an opportunity there for the Democrats if it comes in. We have nothing there so far in a place. Let's come back to 2020 here again. You come over here. You start getting between Asheville and Winston-Salem, right? This is an interesting area. The president tends to run it up in places like this. We don't have anything yet. You come back in time. This was a 68% county 4 years ago. So this is what you want to watch. When the rest of it comes in, these are smaller counties, so it's hard to overcome.
I want to see the daily now. Let's look at the Dow futures for you a couple more times here. Dow now taking a tank, 155 down. All right, something to think about here. And let's move up into Bitcoin. Bitcoin holding at 13,791. Now, what I wanted to look at, right, is the daily candle close here. So the candle closed at 14,000. So we had a candle close above 14,000. Amazing that it came all the way up there just for the daily close. Very strong daily close. Of course, we couldn't hold that, but I'm really, really proud of that daily close. That is the first daily close above 14,000 in, let's think. Honestly, in 3 years, guys. Because look, no daily close here. Our highest daily close candle here, even though we went all the way up to 13,000, 14,000 that day, we were to close that candle down at 11,000. Can you believe that? Oh no, it says, yeah, 13,093. So the last time that we had a candle close above 14,000, right, is in here. Is in here, right here. So here we had, let's see, this candle here closed at 13.5. So here we're closing 16.5. There we close at 15. This one we close at 15. Even though we wicked below, here we close at 4.9. We do go as low as 12,000 here. Then we go up to a close at 16. You see what I'm saying? And then, so we've only closed above 14, like on our way up, like once, twice. I mean, here we're already, we already had a higher close. I mean, like when I want to say is like when a candle closed the day before, like this one closed at 13,005, right? The next candle would then close at 16.5. So we would go up $3,000 in a day from 13.5 to 16.5. The FOMO was real that day. Insane. We would come all the way back down to 12,000, only to pump back up the next day to 17,000, to pump down 2 days later down to 14.5, pump back up to 16, pump back up to 17.9, and then pump all the way up to that all-time high of 19.4, where we hit a top of 19,000. Some say we did hit 20. I don't know if we did. I saw 19,950. A lot. I really did kind of think I did see 20,000. This is the Tether pair. I'm not sure at that point. The liquidity of Tether at that point as well. A lot to think about there. Look, we have our bearish divergence too on the daily. So all you can do is just keep selling bearish divergence, and one day you're gonna sell it perfect, right? You're gonna sell it, and the day you sell it, you're gonna be like, wow, that was what a bottom's like, huh? Imagine that. And then it just kept going and going and going and going and going. Boom, we hit the bottom. At this point, people were talking about not a bunch of 1,800. Tone Vase was calling for $1,200 Bitcoin. He was saying, oh, we haven't had enough pain yet. You know, and then that was crazy that we would come. I still can't believe you could get Bitcoin for 3,800. I bought a half a Bitcoin that night, into that night. I mean, I'm so lucky for that moment, right? In my Bitcoin accumulation lifetime. So I guess the pandemic was the best thing that ever happened to me, so to speak, because I don't think these prices ever would have come at this time, that low, this far in the cycle, right? And now we're just doing our thing. Bitcoin really at 13,769 and holding out of this falling opening wedge. We'll do one more coverage for you guys, and then I'm going to take a skip out of here.
And the sprawling suburbs, Harris County, Texas, you go back in time, 707,000 votes, 54%. So turnout is up. Joe Biden's percentage is up. Again, you're nowhere near the finish line in Texas, but those are the building blocks to be competitive and to maybe win. Democrats think there's a House seat down here. They could flip as well. So then you come down here, you come to the other major urban areas, San Antonio. The Latino vote matters here. You're in the city. Then you go to the suburbs, 59% for Joe Biden. This time, you go back in time, 54%, 55% if you round it up for Secretary Clinton. For me, the vote totals matter because turnout is up, 319,000 then. Come up to now, Joe Biden already approaching 400,000 votes. Turnout is up everywhere, which is a great thing. No matter who wins tonight, turnout is up, which is a great thing, and we hope that continues. You come down here, this is where Beto O'Rourke and others in Texas told the Democrats, you want to win the state? Yes, you have to be competitive in Dallas and Houston. Please come down here, try to turn out votes here. Let's see, Joe Biden here is the 19th largest county, Webb County, 59%. Go back in time, 74%. So let's see, this could be a place where you're looking at the end of the night. Is this a place where Joe Biden underperforms Hillary Clinton? We'll watch that as we go through it. In Texas, again, a lot of votes to count. Wolf, or look in Austin as well. Williamson County above it, and Travis County here. Joe Biden running it up where a Democrat needs to, but a long way to go to count in Texas. And remember, it's not just about the presidency. There's a Senate race there. There are a couple House races there. Democrats think they have a chance to take back the House, the Texas State House. We'll see. A lot of business to do still.
We certainly will. We're standing by for the second largest wave of poll closings just minutes from now at 9 Eastern, when the last polls in 14 states: Arizona, Colorado, Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, Minnesota, Nebraska, New Mexico, New York, North Dakota, South Dakota, Texas, Wisconsin, and Wyoming all closed. 156 electoral votes are at stake in this coming hour. Remember, 270 are needed to win the presidency. We're watching key races in multiple battlegrounds in the next hour: Arizona, Colorado, Minnesota, and Texas, along with two of the most coveted prizes tonight, Michigan and Wisconsin, battlegrounds that may hold the keys to the White House. Those states sealed President Trump's victory in 2016, and Joe Biden is hoping to win them back for the Democrats. Let's get a key race alert. All right, 5 states where Biden is leading right now. Let's start in North Carolina. 70% of the estimated vote is in. Biden has a nearly 220,000 vote lead right now over Trump, 52.1% to 46.8%. And once again, 70% of the estimated vote in North Carolina is in. In Ohio, half of the vote is now in. Biden has an impressive 341,000 vote lead over Trump, 54.9% to 43.9%. 18 electoral votes in Ohio. In Pennsylvania, only 10% of the vote is in.
And boom, I said that Wick was going to send us up, and it did.
113,000 vote lead over Trump, 65% to 34.3%. 20 electoral votes in Pennsylvania. Texas, a huge prize, 38 electoral votes, 62% of the estimated vote is in. Biden has a lead of 189,000 over Trump, 50.6% to 48%. In New Hampshire, 13% of the estimated vote is now in. Biden has a 7,600 vote lead over Trump, 53% to 46%. Trump is leading in these 4 states. Let's show you these states. He's leading right now in Florida, 91% of the estimated vote in Florida is in. Trump has an impressive
He got
260,000
it.
vote lead
He got it.
over Biden in Florida.
He got Florida.
50.7%
That
to
was big for him. He
48.3%.
really needed it.
In Michigan right now, only 9%
really
of the
needed it.
estimated vote is in. Trump has a 107,000 vote lead over Biden, 59.7% to 48.3%. 91% of the estimated vote in Florida is in. Trump has an impressive 260,000 vote lead over Biden in Florida, 50.7% to 48.3%. In Michigan right now, only 9% of the estimated vote is in. Trump has a 107,000 vote lead over Biden, 59.7% to 38.2%. In Georgia, a quarter of the vote is now in. Trump is ahead by almost 177,000 votes right now, 55.9% to 43.1%.
You think with Lil Pimp and all the rappers, you think Georgia would go, because hip hop definitely, Lil Wayne, you know, hip hop definitely turned to Trump.
More than a third of the vote is in Virginia right now.
Virginia, the same thing, man. All those down south boys, that floods out of Atlanta up north a little bit into that.
Trump has a 285,000 vote lead over Biden.
If he takes Atlanta, you'd think he would take these counties.
57.7% to 40.2% in the Commonwealth of Virginia. All right, let's focus in a little bit on North Carolina and Ohio right now, John, because if Biden wins those two states, potentially, that could be the ballgame.
Those would be the ball game. Those are two states absolutely critical. The president got 306 electoral votes 4 years ago. You take away Ohio, you take away North Carolina. Joe Biden holds the Clinton states. He's the next president of the United States without even taking back all the blue wall. So let's focus on them. Ohio, let's just focus on this just for a second and look at this right now. Ohio is blue, right? That's a big deal. North Carolina is blue. There are some other anomalies on the math. And again, I know I'm a broken record. Just want to keep everybody at home, especially for those tuning in later in the night. Mail-in voting, early in-person voting.
Yeah, we'll leave that at that. Let's see where they stand before I run out of here, just for your last call. But about 42-30 on the electoral votes for Donald Trump to Biden. And let's look at Dow futures for you one more time before we take a break. 86 look like we should open between 200 and even. I don't think we should open down $500-600. I don't see that happening. Someone said to look at rep at 1285. Look at the Bitcoin 1 hour chart. Bearish engulfing candle. Bitcoin 1 hour. Let's see if you ever see a bearish engulfing candle. Well, if you see it, then it's there. Right? It is what it is, man. If a lifer says it's there, then it's there. Right? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a bearish engulfing. You know, definitely is. But 1 hour, we'll see. Where have we seen one of those before where it's been defied? Not many. Some greenish. Yeah. Here's one that didn't play out too well. This one right here. You can clearly engulf this in here. That's a bearish engulfing candle. And we went sideways down more. Turned into some pain. Here's another bearish engulfing candle. Didn't turn out too well, but we bounced back from it only after a few hours down. Right? And we kept continuing in our uptrend regardless of that. So just trying to break one out for you, show you something else. Also, let's look at where we are on the RSI. We're bent over though. 1 hour not looking too sweet, is it? 4 hour had its cross, already made some momentum with that down spiral. We'll see what goes on. Bitcoin at 13.8521. I'm still holding my long though at 13.765. And I'm just going to hold this position because I'm basically, we sat here and pinpointed this together, right? Was this bottom here. I felt like we worked so hard on it. No reason to give up on it yet, right? This bottom right here. We saw it live. You saw me tweaking it. I was playing with this till we kind of nailed it, till we got a precision. And then, 13.770, 13.760, 780, anywhere in that little candle region really is kind of the bottom. And then we're forming a new support, breaking above the 21-day moving average. This is looking pretty bullish to me, my opinions. I could be wrong. I wouldn't worry about that engulfing candle too much on the 1 hour. It is present, so we got to think about it. It doesn't always occur. It doesn't always happen. And even if it actually does play out, it's only the 1 hour. So it could play out and still not give us too much juice, negative-wise. Bitcoin back into the pattern if we play it this way. So it was in this pattern, fell out, but now we can kind of put it in a new pattern and still kind of hang out. And now we're at the bottom of that pattern with the breakout of the bullish divergence. I'm thinking Bitcoin could get back. And let's see in the temporary short term if it just breaks out of this and we get our pull here. Why it keeps doing that, but it's annoying. Could put us back up to 14,434. We'll probably get rejected harsh in the middle of the night, come back down to the low 14s, and maybe end up in the same region. But look for us to break out hard during these election tumbles. 16,471 after getting rejected here at 64.97. I can't believe we went that high as the 65. Pretty high not too long ago. This is what I'm seeing. But you know what? I am not the end all of everything. I can only kind of give you guys what I think. We can go from there. DOT fighting back up on these wicks. That big wick could tell you something about DOT at $4. So I would continue to accumulate DOT blindly, though, if you can, at one point. So, wow, Balancer all the way down. You think that could be the bottom for Balancer, but not even showing much bullish divergence here. Maybe there's more pain for Balancer. So we'll watch it, but there's got to be a bottom for this at one point. Check it out. Balancer. The daily about to have a cross. Oversold in the daily like you wouldn't see. I feel like you buy it here, you can't go wrong. Not much more downside. Definitely playing from a position of strength if you get into Balancer at 877. But watch the divergence, watch Bitcoin. And remember, guys, have a wonderful day. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Hit the bell for notifications. You can find out when I post my next video. And remember, if you came to my channel, you're already doing the right thing. And let's say it together. Crypto is life. Thank you guys so much. Be safe.